When your body is healthy, you have 1,000 problems. But when your body is unhealthy, you have only one problem. So let me ask you this. What if I told you that one simple cup of coffee you drink every single day could be the key to stopping the muscle loss that's silently stealing your strength? Here's a shocking truth. After age 50, we lose 1% to 2% of our muscle mass every single year. This means that by the time you reach 70, you could have lost up to 40% of your muscle mass. Very soon, getting out of bed in the morning becomes harder than it used to be. Climbing stairs leaves you breathless, and your legs shake when you stand up too quickly. Here's the frightening reality. From this point forward, things get much worse. Much worse. What's difficult today becomes impossible tomorrow. From struggling to walk to dangerous falls. Once you start falling, everything changes rapidly. You go from doing everything yourself to needing help with everything. Getting dressed, taking a shower, even using the bathroom, and you'll probably end up in a nursing home before long. However, in the next few minutes, I'm going to share 5 simple things you can add to your morning coffee that will help you build stronger muscles, steady your balance, and keep you living independently in your own home for years to come. But here's the thing. Number 5 on this list is going to shock you. It's something most people ignore every single day, but when you add just 1 teaspoon to your coffee, it can reverse muscle loss faster than anything else I'm going to show you. So make sure you stick around until the end, because number 5 could change everything for you. And I promise that by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to add back 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and feel strong and steady on your feet again, just like you did 20 years ago. I'm making you this promise because I've treated thousands of seniors struggling with muscle loss and weakness, and I've watched what works and what doesn't. Over 85% of my patients came back with significant strength gains after adding these 5 simple things to their morning coffee that we'll be talking about in a minute. Before we begin, where are you watching from and how old are you? What muscle loss problems do you have? Let me know in the comments. I'll be replying to each one. Let's begin. Number 1. Almond milk. The first thing you need to add to your morning coffee is almond milk. And here's why this is so critical. As you age, your muscles require more magnesium and calcium than ever before. Here's what's happening inside your body right now. Your biceps need calcium to contract. That's the upward movement when you lift your arms. But magnesium helps your muscles relax. That's when your arms move back down. So when you walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a chair, your muscles are working hard and consuming lots of calcium and magnesium. That's why if you're 60 or older, it's absolutely essential to get enough of these 2 minerals into your diet every single day. Now you're probably wondering, how can I make sure I get these first thing in the morning with my coffee without buying expensive supplements that can damage my liver and kidneys? That's where almond milk comes in. Just 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk provides you with about 450 milligrams of calcium. That's almost half of what you need for the entire day. Plus, you get 15 milligrams of magnesium to help those muscles relax properly. Almond milk is also perfect for seniors who have sensitive stomachs, are lactose intolerant, or just can't tolerate regular milk anymore. Your stomach will thank you. And that's not even the best part. Almond milk supports your muscles in 3 other critical ways. It's loaded with vitamin E that protects your muscle cells from damage. It has healthy fats that help your body absorb other nutrients better. And it's naturally low in sugar, so it won't spike your blood pressure. Research confirms that calcium is crucial for muscle function and supports healthy muscle contraction and relaxation. Recent studies also show that magnesium status strongly affects muscle performance in older adults due to magnesium's key role in muscle contraction and relaxation, and that magnesium intake was significantly associated with sarcopenia. Magnesium supplementation improved performance in older adults. Number 2. Cinnamon powder. Your greatest weapon against aging is muscle. Muscle is true medicine. The more muscle you carry on your body, whether you're 50, 60, 70, or 80, no matter what age you are, the more calories you burn just sitting in your chair, the higher your chances of living a long, healthy life. This is fact, and it's backed up by science. Nothing compares to having strong muscles, especially as you get older. Muscles are where you dispose of glucose, so glucose regulation is one of the most important functions of your body. Your life and independence depends on it. If your muscles can't dispose of glucose properly, you develop type 2 diabetes. the type that may require an amputation because your wounds refuse to heal. That's why it's absolutely crucial to regulate your blood sugar. And the best way to do that is to have muscles that are large enough to absorb the glucose. That's where cinnamon powder in your morning coffee comes in. Cinnamon powder is the most researched spice you can add to your morning coffee to regulate blood sugar and glucose. Some recent studies even show that it improves insulin sensitivity and helps moderate glucose spikes. Here's the science behind it. Cinnamon contains something called cinnamaldehyde. Think of it as tiny helpers that make your muscle cells more willing to accept glucose. It's like cinnamon opens up the doors to your muscle cells wider so glucose can enter easier instead of floating around in your blood causing damage. And that's not even the best part. Cinnamon also supports muscle growth in seniors by slowing down how quickly food leaves your stomach so your muscles can absorb glucose gradually and avoid blood sugar spikes. It helps increase blood flow to your muscles and reduces inflammation in your muscles. Plus, cinnamon actually helps your body make better use of the protein you eat by improving how your digestive system breaks it down. Start using half a teaspoon every morning with your coffee to see results fast. Number 3. Ginger. The reason strong muscles matter so much is because when you get older, being weak and fragile can literally kill you. The numbers are terrifying. Once you turn 65, if you fall and break your hip or leg bone, you have a 15% to 30% chance of dying in the next year. That's frightening. Even if you survive the fall, half of all people never regain their strength. They end up weaker than before for the rest of their lives. Losing muscle becomes your biggest enemy once you reach your 70s. To keep your muscles strong, you need to eat about 30 grams of protein at breakfast and 30 to 50 grams at dinner. But here's what nobody tells you. It doesn't matter how much protein you consume if your body can't break it down properly. Most seniors eat their protein, but their muscles never receive it because their digestion is too slow. That's why you need ginger in your morning coffee. Put 1 teaspoon of ginger powder in your coffee before you eat breakfast. Here's what ginger does. It contains something called gingerol that makes your stomach work faster. Food moves through your system quicker instead of just sitting there. Studies show ginger can make your digestion work twice as fast. It helps your body produce the right enzymes to break down food and prevents you from feeling bloated. So when you eat your protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, your body actually breaks it down fast and sends it to your muscles where it belongs. That's how you build muscle all day long. But that's not all. Ginger does 3 other important things for seniors that most people don't know about. First, it fights inflammation in your joints. You know that stiffness you feel in your knees and hands in the morning? Ginger helps calm that down so you can move easier throughout the day. Second, ginger helps with nausea and stomach upset. As you get older, your stomach becomes more sensitive to foods and medications. Ginger settles your stomach naturally so you feel better after eating. Third, ginger improves your circulation. It helps get blood flowing better to your hands and feet. That's why your fingers and toes might feel warmer after you start adding ginger to your coffee. So you're not just helping your muscles absorb protein better. You're also reducing joint pain, settling your stomach, and improving blood flow all at the same time. That's a lot of benefits from just 1 teaspoon of ginger powder in your morning coffee. Let me tell you about Mrs. Johnson, a 72-year-old retired school teacher who came to see me about 2 years ago. She had been struggling with her digestion for months. She'd eat her breakfast, usually scrambled eggs and toast, and feel bloated and uncomfortable for hours. Her stomach would hurt. She'd feel gassy. And by lunchtime, she still didn't want to eat anything. The worst part was that she was losing weight, but not the good kind. She was losing muscle because her body wasn't breaking down the protein she was eating. She went from 135 pounds to 118 pounds in just 6 months. Her daughter was worried sick because she was getting weaker and weaker. She told me, "I eat my eggs every morning like I should, but I feel terrible afterward. My stomach just can't handle it anymore. I'm starting to think I should just skip breakfast." That's when I told her about adding ginger to her morning coffee. Just 1 teaspoon of ginger powder stirred into her coffee before breakfast. Within 2 weeks, she called me. She said, "I can't believe it. I had my eggs and toast this morning, and for the first time in months, my stomach feels fine. No bloating, no pain, nothing." 3 months later, she had gained back 12 pounds of healthy weight. Her strength was coming back. She was walking her dog again and even started volunteering at the library. all because her body could finally use the protein she was eating. Number 4. MCT oil. Your muscle mass as you age, no matter how much fat you have, that's what's going to determine how healthy you are as you get older. Now, I'm talking about when you reach your 60s and 70s. It's not about being able to walk down 200 steps anymore. As you get older, the most important thing is keeping up with simple resistance training. I'm not talking about heavy lifting here. I'm talking about things like wall sits or getting up and down from a chair. The amount of muscle you have really determines how healthy you're going to be. The science on this is remarkable. It's so connected to your health, no matter what you weigh. Muscle mass is the most important thing for healthy aging once you hit 60, 70, and beyond. So you need MCT oil to give your muscles quick energy during exercise and help with recovery after your easy resistance training workout. Let me explain how MCT oil does this, what it actually is, what the research says, and how much you should take. MCT oil is made from special fats that come from coconut or palm oil. MCT stands for medium-chain triglycerides. Here's what makes them different. They skip most of the normal digestion process. Instead, they go straight to your liver where they get turned into something called ketones. These ketones become instant fuel for both your brain and your muscles. MCT oil gives you energy fast because these fats get processed quickly in your liver. This quick process creates fuel that your muscles can use right away during exercise and while they're recovering. Unlike regular fats that get stored, MCTs get used for energy almost immediately. The research backing this up is pretty impressive. One study with older adults found that taking just 6 grams of MCTs daily for a month and a half increased muscle mass, muscle function, and even brain function in elderly people who were getting frail. Another study showed the best results for muscle strength happened after taking MCT oil for just 3 months straight. And you didn't need any other supplements to get these benefits. For dosage, you want to start small. MCT oil is high in fat and calories, so begin with just 1 teaspoon and slowly work up to 1 or 2 tablespoons. Researchers say the safe upper limit is about 4 to 7 tablespoons daily. But if you're taking it for exercise, don't go over 30 grams because more than that might upset your stomach during or right after your workout. But that's not the most impressive part. MCT oil does several other things that help seniors stay healthy and keep their muscles. They help reduce the inflammation that comes from exercise, which means you recover better between workouts. Regular MCT use also trains your body to switch between different fuel sources better, which helps with muscle maintenance. And MCTs help you feel full so you eat better and get the nutrition your muscles need. Before I reveal the 5th thing to add to your coffee, I need to ask you something. What do you think so far? Are you starting to realize what you should add to your morning coffee every morning for better muscle growth? Drop a comment and let me know. I'm genuinely curious to know what you think. And if this information is helping you understand how to grow muscle even beyond 60, please hit that subscribe button. I spend hours researching and creating these videos to help seniors like you, and your subscription tells me you value this information. It only takes 1 second, but it means the world to me and helps me reach more people who desperately need this knowledge. Let's continue. Number 5. Cayenne pepper. Thigh muscle mass has an inverse relationship with how long you live. How incredible is that? The stronger your thighs are, the bigger your quads are, the longer you live. So 3 reasons why this matters. First, when your legs get weak, your balance goes away and your mobility goes away. You just stop going out and spending time with friends as much, right? So there's your social life. You don't get quality vitamin D from the sun. Your moods are bad all the time and you fall into depression. Secondly, your bone density drops. If you didn't know, your bones provide minerals for your brain tissues and your thighs have the biggest bone in your body. And lastly, the 3rd most common cause of death in older adults is falling. So if you keep your leg muscles up, you don't fall as much. Leg muscles help keep your balance. That's why you need cayenne pepper in your morning coffee to get blood flowing to your thigh and leg muscles early in the morning. Here's the science behind this. Cayenne pepper contains something called capsaicin, and this is what makes peppers hot. Capsaicin can help your arteries work well and helps relax the muscles in your blood vessels so blood can flow easily. Research shows that eating cayenne pepper increases circulation, improves blood vessel strength, and reduces plaque buildup in your arteries. When you add cayenne to your morning coffee, the capsaicin activates something called TRPV1 receptors. These receptors help open up your blood vessels and get more blood flowing to your muscles, including those important thigh muscles. Capsaicin also acts to reduce platelet stickiness, which means your blood flows more smoothly. For dosage, you want to be careful here. Most people can safely take 2 to 8 milligrams of capsaicin daily. That's about a small pinch of cayenne pepper in your coffee, maybe 1/8 teaspoon to start. A sprinkle of cayenne pepper used in a meal is typically about 0.1 milligrams. So you don't need much. Start small and work your way up because this stuff can be hot. But cayenne pepper does more than just improve blood flow. The capsaicin in cayenne pepper could reduce high blood pressure by relaxing the blood vessels. It may also help with pain relief, which is important for seniors dealing with joint issues. And some research suggests it might even help with metabolism and weight management. This makes cayenne pepper the 5th addition to your morning coffee for senior health. The improved blood flow to your leg muscles first thing in the morning helps prepare them for the day's activities and supports the muscle strength that literally keeps you alive longer. Let me tell you about Mrs. Anderson. She was 68 years old, worked part-time at a local library, and came to see me about 3 years ago. She was one of those people who just loved being active, used to garden for hours, took long walks with her book club friends, even did some light yoga at the community center. But when she walked into my office that first day, she looked exhausted. "I can barely make it up the stairs to the 2nd floor at work anymore," she told me. "My legs feel like they're made of concrete, and I'm so tired all the time." She had been struggling for months. Her doctor had run all the usual tests. Blood work looked fine, heart was good, but she just couldn't shake this constant fatigue and muscle weakness. The worst part was she'd started avoiding her friends. "I used to meet the girls for our evening walks," she said. "But now I'm embarrassed because I have to stop and rest every few blocks, so I just make excuses and stay home." You could see it was breaking her heart. Then things got worse. About 2 months after I first met her, she called me from the hospital. She'd fallen in her own kitchen while making dinner. Nothing was broken, thank goodness, but she was shaken up. "I just felt so dizzy when I stood up from the table," she explained. "My legs gave out completely." That's when I recommended she try adding cayenne pepper to her daily routine. I told her to start small, just a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper in her morning tea. Within 2 weeks, she called me with excitement in her voice for the first time in months. "I made it through a whole day at the library without feeling completely drained," she said, "and I actually felt like cooking dinner last night." By the end of the first month, she was back to her evening walks. Not as long as before, but she was out there with her friends again. 6 months later, she was a different person. She'd worked her way up to 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ginger daily, and the change was remarkable. "I'm back in my garden," she told me during our follow-up. "Last weekend, I planted 2 whole flower beds. My legs feel strong again, and that dizzy feeling when I stand up is gone. All from a small change." Look, I know there are going to be people who watch this and then go right back to their old habits. They'll stick with coffee loaded with sugar and dairy milk, all that caffeine, because making changes seems too difficult. But you're not one of those people, are you? You're the kind of person who's going to take this information and actually do something with it. You're going to stick with adding these muscle-building things to your morning coffee and keep doing it consistently. And I want you to come back and tell us how your muscle loss reversed and how much stronger you've gotten. Because in my next video, I'm going to share something you need to start adding to your drinking water immediately if you don't want to keep losing your muscles. And if this video helped you understand how to benefit from coffee and you have a clear action plan to start regaining your strength, the least you can do is hit that subscribe button. I've given you information that could literally change your life and help you feel 40 again. Information that most doctors won't tell you and that could save you thousands of dollars in medical expenses. Subscribing is free. It only takes 1 second, and it helps me continue creating life-changing content. So please subscribe now, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!